Welcome to Beary Opinionated, a podcast about tier lists. Are you ready to go? How about we go snoot first and find out what we all think about this tier list of the WWE superstars?
My fucking pee tingles, bro.
So let me ask you this question before we start in. How are you ranking, and by what? Because I'm just gonna say number two there is Hogan, and if you ask me about Hulk Hogan's in-ring ability, he's straight trash, bro. If you ask me about Hulk Hogan's entertainment value, he is one of the highest I would rank.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to SXZBear. Today, I'm bringing some WWE content because me, Doctor and Swiss, majority Swiss, because he's a crackhead for WWE or wrestling in general.
He's like somebody grapple me.
Yeah.
Makes my wiener tingle.
We're gonna do a motherfucking tier list. A coworker that will remain nameless brought this idea to us, so I decided to do this because this seems fun. So we're not gonna.
We would like to note this coworker is a fan of SXZBear and has liked and subscribed, which you should do.
Yeah, because if you don't like us that much.
So
Who doesn't like bears?
People
Squirrels.
got bear attacked, stuff like
Fuck
that.
those. They shouldn't have fucked with us. Okay.
Okay, so we're not basing off appearance or it's all in all. This the full.
It'll be like
wrestler,
ring presence, their entertainment value,
everything.
even their like off-camera personalities. Because everybody.
We'll just have a discussion. We'll be having a discussion about the overall character, and we're gonna leave away from the ring things out of it too,
Okay,
because we're just not gonna go there. Because there's a couple of the guys up on the board here that if I start to bring in their personal lives, there's a little bit of a difference to it. We'll discuss that when they
I
get
don't
there.
think
but
is
that will
Benoit
not have
on
any
this
effect
list
on the
because that
ring.
would be bad.
No.
Okay, good.
I don't know that Plumpy's old enough to know who Mr. Benoit is.
I do know who Chris Benoit is.
Did you watch The Dark Side of the Ring?
I did not.
I have.
Dude, you should watch it. It's fucking insane, and it'll
It's,
shed light onto a lot of things.
it's heartbreaking.
Yeah, it really it was gut wrenching. So if you're into that kind of like behind the scenes and what caused him to do the shit he did, like watch it for real.
Yeah,
But be prepared to
there's some
be
really
fucking
solid
appalled.
stuff. Yeah, some of that stuff's on par with murder documentary stuff.
Yeah, fucking
seriously.
crazy.
Level.
All right.
All right, so
let's start off with Ric Flair.
Woo!
Woo! Where would you guys place Ric Flair?
I say mid.
Let's also keep in mind. Let's do the golden ages, not like who Ric Flair is now.
Okay, so hang on. Ric Flair is the 16-time World Heavyweight Champion throughout more than 4 different wrestling groups, including the WWE, WCW, the AWA, and the National Wrestling Alliance. Ric Flair was in a plane crash, broke his back before getting the level of success you know him as. So the Ric Flair you know has been through a plane crash and had his back broken and repaired in the 70s. Ric Flair also, Jesus. Ric Flair is one of the people who goes 90 minutes more often than not, or excuse me, 60 minutes more often than not, as far as match types known for. The thing Rick is most known for are hour-long Broadways, where this dude would literally wrestle random people 3 to 4 times a night from a week for a full hour as the mainstay or the pull for a card. Like he was the main event. So this is Ric Flair.
My mind. Trash.
For me, this is GOAT tier.
Okay, that's fair.
That's a solid promo.
My rebuttal to the 16-time champ, he's also the 17-time loser.
Which I can say about everybody else here.
Yeah,
At least
yeah,
he had
sure.
that many times to lose it.
His persona is probably what makes him the greatest. One of the best. I think he is excellent or GOAT, honestly. Like I say mid to fuck around, but like If you say Ric Flair and someone who doesn't watch wrestling, they're gonna fucking woo at you, dog. Like woo.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like they know who the fuck he is.
So
That
for
cements
me,
you as
Rick-
one of the greatest. If people know who the fuck you are and they don't even watch.
I hate you.
Oh, you about to get hey, 50-50, bro? Fuck this guy. He is excellent or goat.
Hey,
Like his
hey, Fumpy,
all around.
you might catch some sweet chin music at work this weekend.
all right, so moving on. Let's do one of the newer aged motherfuckers, Roman Reigns.
Mid to excellent, I'd say. I don't really know much about Roman Reigns.
So I was definitely late Attitude Era into the early 2000s when I started watching WWE. And I recently got back into it, so I know a little bit about some of these newer cats. And I'm trying to place him to somebody. I think he kind of has the persona of what Randy Orton was. It's the bad guy you love to hate, or whatever the shit.
Oh, so he's like a popular heel.
Yes.
Okay.
So I think
No, he's hated. Nobody's cheering Roman. He's hated. He's got true heat. But
I love the heels, bro.
You can't deny. Like I get what you're saying, Fumpy. It is almost Rock-esque where he's the bad guy. You're supposed to hate him, and you do for what he does. But damn it, if you're not entertained by it.
Yeah.
For me, he lands. For me, he lands in the excellent tier. I'm gonna take this into a little bit of a different spot. So, after being forced down everybody's throat and getting true bad heat, like go away, nobody wants to see you anymore, and he's the one that beat cancer too, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah. That alone puts him
Yeah.
up to excellent. Like he's still doing it after that because that shit'll fuck you up.
He's also Raw is a 3-hour show, and they have literally for the last year and a half given this man an hour every frickin' show for almost a year now. Him and his group. He owns an entire third of that show.
Yeah.
So if WWE produces, say, 10 hours of content, I think it's more than that. If they produce 10 hours of content, that dude alone by himself is making up 10% of all their content. Like that's the kind of foundation he is for them and how they've used him.
Right.
And that's in amidst a couple of the guys yet to be named on this list coming back, leaving, coming back, leaving. And he's been able to go right back to being the main event anytime they needed. So I think he's doing an excellent job considering how creative almost ruined it for him by pushing him too hard.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All right, we're gonna go more of a gimmicky route here. Santino.
Swear to God, you son of a bitch. I was gonna say, I didn't even know who the fuck this guy was, and I watched wrestling when he was doing his thing. Okay, so I say mid. You guys can have your own opinion on this, but I think he's mid.
I just found it the one skit that he does where he's talking to John Cena. He's like, John Cena.
Have you seen the one? Have you seen the one where it's international tea time and it's him, Vladimir Kozlov, and Sheamus having a tea party together, and like Sheamus is threatening Santino, and Santino's like, I don't remember why we are even not friends right now. Vladimir Kozlov just like grabs the microphone and he's because you made fun of him last week. And like so Santino starts to shake and shit as he's like going to hand the tea to Sheamus, spills it all over him. Like shit like that in the Cobra. He's mid. He's great at what he does. He's an awesome comedic wrestler. He does have some wrestling ability. He's a fun promo. Unfortunately, this dude isn't going to be the guy that brought anybody to the arena to watch.
Right.
You're glad he was there, but that wasn't the name that made you go see him. So for me, he's mid card.
He had a purpose and he played the purpose well. Like you said, anytime like he came on, I was kind of like, eh. So I would go either mid or bad with that. All right, so now we're gonna go to a heavy hitter here. Undertaker. And frankly,
Goat.
yeah,
Excellent.
like
I'd say excellent.
you'd say excellent. Why?
Goat.
Because
Goat and have me go last.
I say excellent only because the initially with Paul Bearer and then without Paul Bearer. You know what I mean? I think Paul Bearer ruined the whole gimmick. That's just personal opinion. I didn't really like him fucking howling at people like, "Oh, the Undertaker!" Like, dude, he was scary. Like, he's a formidable force in the ring.
Oh my god.
Muscular, and the first time
So,
you see him just
I-
fucking sit straight up, you're like, God damn, this dude really is a dead man.
Oh my
You
god.
didn't need Paul Bearer to ruin
Okay.
it. Hey, you know what? Chris?
Actually, the
You
guy,
keep your opinions
the
to
guy
your
that
fucking
had-
self.
the guy they had before Paul Bearer was even worse. Bruce
God.
Prichard. Does Brother Love, I love you, was his
Oh, God.
original manager. Yeah, so no. Like, I can understand somebody not liking or enjoying Paul Bearer, but when you consider that his first manager was Brother Love, a faux televangelist who told people he loved them, I'll take Paul Bearer any day.
Fair. I don't think he needed a manager to begin with, but that's the WWF at the time's gimmick, so it is what it is.
Taker wasn't the greatest talker at the time either.
No.
Yeah.
What was his other persona?
In WWE or before WWE?
I forgot what he had. Kid Rock as his intro music.
Oh, that's
American
the American
Badass.
Badass.
American Badass. Yeah.
Yeah.
Big Evil. Yeah.
All right, we'll go to one of my.
So,
Go ahead.
I was going to say, I want to touch on one more thing on Taker here. For me, this is GOAT tier, and it's for this reason. Can you imagine coming into a company, sitting down, and they're like, all right, you're kind of a zombie, you're not a zombie, you sort of have magic powers, you kind of don't have magic powers, you're the pseudo-dead guy, and you don't talk, and you put people in coffins. This might be the dumbest explanation of a gimmick I've ever heard in my life. Like, straight up, on paper, The Undertaker as a pseudo-dead guy who has supernatural powers might be one of the dumbest gimmicks I've ever heard of. How are you going to play this off in a wrestling?
Right.
How is this supposed to... 30 years. 30 years of portraying a character, even the American Badass phase that he had there, of portraying a character that had powers beyond your understanding and just might be truly freaking invincible. For 30 years, this guy pulled off what might have been the worst gimmick anybody has ever been given in their life. Hats off to you, sir.
Yeah.
You not only did it, you did it amazingly well for a very, very long time. And I am a big behind the scenes guy. I a lot of times would get caught up in Taker and wouldn't question things. It was just part of Taker. Like, oh man, how did they do that? Like, I completely suspended my disbelief on those moments. It was just like, Taker, you don't question. Like, how did he make that explode? Taker, you don't question.
All right. Before we move on, hold on. Hey, Lily. You okay?
Get her a banana. Oh.
You okay, bud? Will you be okay?
Ask her if she wants a banana.
Full take on Taker, by the way, Doc. I understand that.
Do me a favor.
Yeah.
This will be the last thing I do, and then we'll go. Okay.
Oh, by the way, the reason they got Paul Bearer in the first place, his real name is Percy,
No, you won't be quiet.
is because he was an actual bearer, like he's an actual Undertaker.
Oh shit.
and
Okay.
You have to be licensed in order to purchase caskets at all.
Ah, that
And
makes sense.
so
then.
when they
Okay.
first started putting this together, they had Percy on working as a road agent. And when this all came up as a problem in one of the creative meetings, he just started laughing in the back. And Vince was like, "Oh, what's so funny about this?" And he's like, "Well, Vince, I'm a licensed Undertaker. Like, I have the phone number right here in my book. I can call right now and order a casket. What you want?" Like,
Right? No shit.
And so that's why some of his setup and what he was doing was actually very authentic because Percy actually had to learn and know how to do all of that. So yeah, Paul Bearer was a true Undertaker. He was an actual, uh, you know, he actually embalmed bodies and all that shit.
Great.
Okay, so moving forward, I see a couple on this list where I kind of have the same thought process. Actually, we'll wait a little bit. We're gonna do the ones that I have I know about them, don't know anything about them. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So we're gonna go with
So
Roddy
as you
Piper.
click on them, I will shout some things out.
Okay.
Roddy Piper
so
is mid to excellent.
Hot
in my
Rod's
opinion.
excellent in my mind.
Okay. fair.
So, and it's Rowdy Piper had a very distinct style in the ring. He was a brawler. He never did win the heavyweight championship in the WWF or WCW. Well, no, that wasn't on the line. Okay, so yeah, he never did win the big belt. However, for years, Rowdy did entire half-hour segments of Piper's Pit where
Dude,
he
yeah.
would bring people on and he would shit talk whoever he had on more often than not. Like he would ask them legit questions, they'd give answers, he'd make fun of the answers. I mean,
It
this
was
dude
fucking
broke
awesome.
a coconut over. So in an ad lib moment, it was something they sort of discussed. Superfly Jimmy Snuka and him were doing an interview on Piper's Pit, and they'd put a bunch of fruit out for Piper and him because Superfly is supposed to be from like the Isles of Samoa or something like that. He's a jungle man kind of thing. Piper legit broke a coconut over his head, picked it up, grabbed it, and just swung it hard enough to just destroy the coconut over this guy's head. Like Piper would do shit like this. He wasn't afraid to do unscripted things and take stuff way too far. Him and Goldust at WrestleMania 11, they hit him with a car. And when they were trying to figure out how to do it and a safe way to do it, Rowdy got pissed off with it all and just told him to fuck it and told Goldust to actually just hit him with the car. Don't worry about it. You just drive forward. It'll take care of everything. And actually allowed him to just hit him with the car.
Wow.
Yeah. It was fucking crazy.
So for me, Hot Rod's excellent because Hot Rod can eat up a half hour at a time on the mic and keep people.
I did forget about the Piper's Pit though, so that's.
That man doesn't even have to walk in the ring to be entertaining.
Yeah.
All right. We are gonna go with Andre the Giant.
So here's where I get in trouble with wrestling. This is mid-tier.
I would agree.
Andre is an attraction.
Yeah.
Andre
he's
at
a
one point in
sideshow,
time was
honestly.
a solid wrestler.
See,
But Andre doesn't need a title. Andre doesn't need anything storyline-wise to make him interesting. And Andre doesn't always work good in a story.
Yeah.
and see, I can say like, I've never seen him wrestle, so like, I'm sure he's good, but I can say like the same argument can be made for the Great Khali, and Big Show.
No, it can't.
I mean, my argument.
I'm one of those. We'll have that discussion when we get there.
My argument is like, they're not great story people. They're just big motherfuckers.
Yeah, that's the draw of the really, really big guys, though.
Right.
Because then they wrestle with smaller guys.
Really, really big man.
Really big man.
Well, David Goliath is an easy story to tell, and it helps
Yeah.
when you're a true Goliath.
Yeah.
Facts.
All right, and then we're gonna go with Big Show, his son.
I say
not
excellent.
his
His
son.
stage presence.
It's not his son.
No, it's a gimmick.
No,
His stage presence is good.
Oh.
And he actually can entertain without wrestling. So I say excellent.
I agree on the excellent here, and the only thing that kept him down was how he was treated. So
Yeah, he did get
Paul
shit
White
a
is
little
his
bit.
actual name. And Paul White met Hulk Hogan at a charity basketball event. Hogan saw him, saw how big he was, and immediately thought Andre. He got brought into WCW that way. Now, WCW had a training room or a training center back at the time called the Power Plant. They sent him down there for about 3 weeks, and all they kept telling him was be a giant, be a giant, be a giant. They purposely didn't actually teach him how to wrestle.
Learn that shit on the
They
fly.
purposely taught him a limited moveset. So the entire first 4 to 5 years of his career in WCW, he's just being told to go out and be a giant, be nothing more. And they restricted him with a moveset. In WCW, he does a missile drop kick off the top rope once and gets in trouble for it because he's too big and shouldn't be doing it.
Wow.
Not that he can't.
You're
Big
wrecking
Show
folks.
used to leap. Big Show used to leapfrog people. He tossed them into the ropes and leapfrog them. And again, got yelled at because a guy his size shouldn't be doing that. So this dude's literally being told in the first 5 years to wrestle dumb, don't wrestle to your full ability, and nobody wants to teach him how to do more than what he's already doing. So when he goes to WWE, he ends up getting under the wings of Taker there, and it pisses Taker off because this dude's been a heavyweight champion at the other company and doesn't know shit kind of thing.
Yep.
And Taker, as a big man himself, is very frustrated because he sees the athleticism and is just angry that this guy doesn't know how to do better and ends up getting sent back down to WWE's developmental for a while. And then later in his career, the WWE, like every 4 months, changed him from a good guy to a bad guy, or a bad guy to a good guy. They never actually let Big Show develop a storyline in any way, shape, or form. Quite honestly, I think they missed the boat. Him and Mark Henry as a tag team could have been freaking amazing for years. And you could have just been feeding these guys team after team after team and had some great matches with them. So I think the only thing that stopped Big Show from being an even bigger star than what he was just bad creative. They never gave anything he did a chance to marinate.
Yeah.
I do know my first experience seeing Big Show wrestle is when he'd come in and he'd step right over the top rope. But like, this is a big fucking guy. God damn.
Honestly. Sticking with
He did have the same condition that Andre had. He just had his corrected. Pituitary gland issue.
Gotcha.
Speaking of him, boom.
Great Khali.
The Great Khali.
Mid.
This guy is trash for me.
I could.
I can go mid bad. Let's go bad to kind of just
Bad,
go
yeah.
grounds here.
I don't think he had a very long career, did he?
He was older when he got there in the first
so
place.
that would
He'd
make
been
sense why he didn't
wrestling.
have a long one.
He'd been doing some other stuff overseas. Still does, I believe.
I feel like a USO type tour.
No. Like
Or
he's
just
actually
like
from
European wrestling.
When they say Punjabi Playboy, they mean it. He's actually from Middle Eastern area.
Oh, nice.
I believe he owns and runs a wrestling business out in that area yet. He helps with some liaison here and there between Saudi and WWE, I believe, for some of their crown jewel stuff. I know he's been involved some way in that. I don't hear I've never seen a good Great Khali match. I've never even been excited to see the Great Khali come out.
Right.
I'm not gonna lie. When we played the game and Great Khali came to save my ass, I liked him then. Of all the people that came to save me, you know.
I mean, I suppose having the biggest guy on the roster show up is. But he just not a good promo either. Language barrier. It is what it is. I really don't necessarily have a problem with that. It's just he never was involved in anything interesting. He never did anything interesting. And I know some of his. Some people like him, some people don't. He's kind of a jerk backstage, but you can say that about most guys. So
yeah,
this guy for me has never moved the needle.
Going back to
Bumpy, why did you even pick Great Khali on that one?
This was a preset. This was a preset thing.
Oh, okay.
Oh, gotcha.
Because I would have picked some of the greatest ones and have us argue over who's the actual best.
Right.
I was gonna say, I was surprised at the random selection.
I would have added more trash people too, just so we can agree.
Because most of these people on here are either mid or not.
Yeah.
You say that, but there's some guys that never made it that were amazing wrestlers.
Yeah.
True.
Going to more people that I didn't get to watch as a youngster. Bret Hart.
Excellent.
Yes.
He had some fantastic matches. He memorable when he body slammed Yokozuna, like fucking just all that shit. That was my first favorite wrestler, and then I got into Shawn Michaels, like Bret Hart and Owen Hart. Mind you, the whole Owen Hart thing was fucking brutal, but like the Hart family in itself was awesome.
Agreed. No, Bret. My God, I in like 2010 to 2015, I was watching WWE, and it was funny because I found myself on a lot of shows being like halfway through the show and going, I miss wrestlers like Bret Hart and Kurt Hennig, where they could just you'd insert a solid 20-minute wrestling match here instead of some over the top promo or two crappy matches that had like interference and other stuff. And it was like I missed a pure wrestler on the show at the time, and it just wasn't something they were doing. And when I stopped and thought about it, I started realizing that like they don't even have that character on the show anymore.
Such technical prowess. I think that's
there was nobody on the roster that was known for being a technician of any kind other than like William Regal, who I love William Regal, but at the age he was at the time, and he was doing the GM thing, kind of a weird spot. And then the other was Shawn. But it's not, Shawn had great matches with guys like that. Shawn still had great matches, but it wasn't the same as a Bret Hart versus somebody match where it had just this tone and a pace to it.
Didn't he wrestle Arn Anderson?
Awesome. Oh yeah,
the
Brainbusters, Arn and Tully. I mean, they've done some good shit with those guys. Shawn and the Rockers. I mean, he tagged with Jim the Anvil Neidhart for years back in the '80s. They were the Hart Foundation with Jimmy Hart. It's great. But yeah, tag team to singles, he was solid.
Moving on to, and Swiss, I would like you to participate in this one. Macho Man Randy Savage. Okay.
Oh yeah, the cream of the crop. Nobody does it better.
Excellent. His promos were fucking top tier. Wrestling was good. He died way before his time, dude. I think if he didn't die early, he would have been GOAT in my eyes. He's very, very good, but he didn't have necessarily the longevity that I would like to have seen to consider him a GOAT.
And here's where I'm going to shame you. Macho Man wrestled from the 70s all the way into the 2000s. He retired in the early 2000s.
That's fine and dandy, but if nobody realizes it, motherfucker.
You say nobody realizes it. No, he's a second-generation wrestler.
Yeah.
His brother was also a wrestler, known as the Genius by most people, or Leaping Lanny. Macho Man Randy Savage, for me, this is like, if I had to start a wrestling company, and you told me I had to choose one star to be my main person on the roster, I feel like Macho Man is somebody that you could build an entire show around. Whether he's a good guy or a bad guy, Macho Man has the ability to, on a microphone, with the charisma he has, make you love him or hate him, but either way, you want to see what happens next, and he carries that frenetic energy with him. On top of it, Randy is also one of the best in-ring competitors there have ever been. He is right up there with some of the best ring technicians there are. He was meticulous in his match planning, and Randy actually set his matches up the way they currently do now, where they literally have almost a step-by-step thing. Randy's one of the first guys to be doing that. That was all the way back in the 80s.
Okay. I'm okay with going GOAT with this motherfucker.
Oh yeah. And I mean, like I said, for me, that GOAT tier is really that, like, if I started a promotion tomorrow and you told me I had to grab one guy, if they're up in GOAT tier, I feel like I could build an entire show around this person in their prime.
Oh, for sure. I'll agree with that.
All right.
I know he wrestled for a long time, but like mainstream, like national television, far shorter.
All right. 84 to 99.
15 years, yeah.
From the old Drip King to the new Drip King, Seth Rollins.
Mid.
Seth is
I say mid only because I don't know anything really about Seth Rollins.
Okay.
Funny enough, because I got a little back into it, Seth Rollins is probably one of my favorite wrestlers in the new age. He just he knows how to fucking do his job well. He gets the fucking crowd fucking going.
Good showmanship. That's why
really
you
good
gotta have
showmanship.
that. Yeah.
So I would go excellent. Yeah, I would go excellent for him. If
Excellent.
again, not much to say.
If
about
he's
him.
good at the promos and shit, promos are big
Yes.
because
Oh,
you know
dude.
if you can't sell
No,
your
this-
character and shit, like you're not gonna last long.
This dude's entrance has a showstopper moment where the crowd takes over because he has that type of control.
I enjoy it.
This guy has the crowd in the palm of his hand so hard that while he's cutting promos in the ring, he just makes gestures and the crowd finishes his statements for him. Like, this is
I
some
can dig
Stone
that,
Cold
man.
level, you know.
Yeah.
So for me, there's another gentleman I think is on this list. This is what happens when you would take The Rock, Stone Cold, and then somebody with the in-ring abilities of an HBK Bret Hart, and you stuff him into one team. He is solely himself. He is not. He doesn't remind you or make you think he's knocking anybody off. This guy is who exactly he is, and you've gotten to see a cool evolution of who he is as well. On top of it, he is a solid and phenomenal in-ring performer. He's just fun as hell to watch. Also, that same idea, like if I was starting a wrestling company kind of thing, the idea of having this guy chasing my main champion, I have no problem with. This is going to engage so hard and on so many levels. Like,
just think of him and Macho Man going at it in promos. That would be phenomenal.
Oh man, even him and Flair.
Yeah. Oh, dude,
you know what I mean?
At him and shit. Yeah.
I mean, him. Okay, so look at our goat tier there too. Same thing with him and Taker. Like, come on, dead man, you're not real. Like, I could see him just tearing that character apart, and then having to get in the ring, and it's going to be what it's going to be. Like, the dude's a hell of a wrestler. He's got great facial expressions and stuff. Like, in case nobody's gotten it yet, I am hardcore on the wrestling side. Hey man, I've trained to wrestle. It was a cool ass experience. I am not cut out for it. I know my place.
And then I got two more that I don't really know much about, and we'll start with this one.
Haha, Mr. Monday Night, Rob Van Dam.
Oh,
RVD for me is mid.
Mid.
And it hurts me a bit to say it. It's mid.
Mid. Anyway.
So he's fun as shit to watch, but he's undersized. He does do a great job with most of the stuff that he does. He always looks amazing. He does a little bit more of a hardcore match. The problem is, while you like him and he's got charisma, he's kind of apathetic. Never once has Rob Van Dam made me think that like he was excited to have this title match opportunity. Never once did I think that he really wanted the title. Like, so he's a great wrestler, but certain things just don't seem important to him. And that makes it hard for certain storylines.
That's probably why he struggled to really make anything, honestly.
Actually, his weed problem is every time he had a shot at something like that. So
I want you to know that weed isn't the problem.
So he wins Money in the Bank, gets to face John Cena, and wins it. He wins the title, becomes the World Heavyweight Champion off John Cena at a pay-per-view. He beats Cena clean. And like 3 weeks later, tests positive for THC, has to give the belt back to somebody, and is out for the next, 3 weeks or whatever the suspension time was.
Wow.
And this is a reoccurring theme. Every time they would build Rob up to something, Rob got busted for smoking pot.
He likes the
got pulled over with a bunch of it. He does.
Hey man.
So Rob is
the guy for that.
himself.
Fuck it. He sacrificed his career to get high. Act goat, baby. He didn't care.
He's actually done interviews too where people have asked him why he never seemed like he cared about the title, and his honest answer was like, "Because I didn't. Like,
He just
I
liked
don't
wrestling.
care." Yeah, he enjoyed wrestling, and he's like, if wrestling is what it is, and so the title doesn't actually mean anything, and like, I get why you would never put a title on it. Great wrestler, but mid tier. There you go.
Yep. We'll go for
That's
Hey man,
better.
go ahead. No,
I
go
don't know
ahead
if
and
we
leave that
actually
up
have
there.
any wrestlers
Go ahead
on this
and
list that are actually trash. I honestly, I
I was
don't think we
gonna say,
do.
go ahead and leave that up there because there's a few more getting put in this category as we go. I'm telling you that right now. All right.
All right, and then the last one I don't really know too much about. I've watched him, but I think the time that I was watching him, he was more, I don't want to say gimmick, but Mick Foley.
Goat.
Yeah.
Didn't have the most athletic ability, but he would do whatever it takes to make sure his match was the best match. Didn't have to be top
Let
of
me
the
just
card.
say this. The year Mick Foley's first book came out, Have a Nice Day, it went and became a New York Times #1 bestseller. People magazine voted him, the popular fan vote, voted him Man of the Year. The editors vetoed it, claiming that he hadn't accomplished enough in his life. Mick Foley, the man who doesn't look like he belongs on this list, the guy who looks like he shouldn't be here, is by far one of the most pivotal and amazing wrestlers ever, and one of the most amazing human beings ever.
He's a fuck. Like, I would love to hang out with Mick Foley, just pick his fucking brain, dude. He's so cool.
I'm not gonna lie, I love knowing that if I ever meet Mick Foley, I can simply walk up and just, can I have a hug? And he'll give me a hug, because in his own words, he's a pretty good hugger. I would love to feel that hug. And number two, just ask him if his family's doing good, because him and his wife have been married since before he was famous. This dude is married to an actual model. The neighborhood he grew up in, his wife used to have her legs were on a bus, like they were printed on the side of a bus for some ad campaign in the city, and he always joked that he was going to marry that set of legs, only to find out years later that the woman he had started dating that he felt was way out of his league but was really into him was that model.
And that's some shit. Shoot your shot, guys.
And they've got 6 kids or something like that together. Like, this man is amazing. He's left an amazing mark on wrestling. The strangest charisma ever. You don't know why you care about Mick Foley, but you care about Mick Foley.
I think it's because he's just genuinely himself and he's not really playing a character.
Right. But when he's playing a character, they're great. Man.
Oh yeah, dude, he's such a good actor.
Phenomenal. I loved it.
Yeah, Dude Love was awesome because he just fucked around.
Dude, Cactus Jack in WCW. Him and Vader. Now that's some hard hitting shit. Like,
dude, yes. The tax and all that shit. Oh my god. Fucking brutal.
Dude, Vader. So Vader's out in the ring and he's cutting this promo about how he's impervious to pain and nobody can hurt him. I feel no pain. Cactus Jack, Mick Foley, comes out with a fucking shovel and hits Vader so hard in the back that the plan is that like 5 or 6 other wrestlers are supposed to come out one by one and get hit with this shovel. Vader had yelled at him beforehand, though, that if he didn't hit him hard and stuff, he was going to no-sell it and beat his ass. So Mick went out there and fucking hit Vader so hard with the shovel that the other guys that were supposed to come out refused to come out.
My boy sold it.
So Mick's just standing there in the ring with the shovel, and he's supposed to be waiting for these people that didn't come. Like, Mick is amazing. He's had so many cool moments.
All right, next up, everyone chant with me. You suck.
You suck.
You suck. You suck.
So we got
Kurt Angle.
This guy is goat.
Goat.
This guy's goat.
He did awesome in wrestling, but the fact that he won an Olympic gold medal with a broken fucking neck, that guy's a fucking monster.
Shit's fucking wild.
I wouldn't fuck with him.
It's true. It's damn true.
He's a fucking monster. And he's actually kind of funny. I follow him on TikTok, so good shit.
I think Kurt Angle is hilarious. The stuff he did with Steve Austin, the tiny cowboy hat,
Yeah, dude,
Edge and
fucking talking
Christian with
shit.
him was great. So he's funny as hell. He can make fun of himself. I mean, the milk truck, come on. And so you've seen Austin's beer truck moment, right?
Yep.
Bump.
No.
No, he's too young for that. We'd
Okay,
have to
so
find it and show it to him. That's
Jesus.
older pay-per-views.
I have it.
Right
Don't
on.
worry. That was on Raw. But no, Kurt's funny. Clearly he can wrestle his ass off. So I definitely think you can build an entire company around Kurt Angle. I mean, not to be that guy, but it's often referred to as Kurt on a perk. Kurt not going through the best personal life at the time, dealing with some prescription drug issues. Wrestled for TNA for years though, as one of the top guys there, and really helped carry that company for a while.
Speaking of TNA, Sting.
Excellent.
That's a goat. I hate that you associate him with TNA.
Yeah, he's WCW. I thought he was good, but then he kind of like disappeared from the mainstream.
He was part
So
of
that's
TNA, wasn't he?
my take on excellent. But
Yeah,
I would agree
no.
with Goat if we just went based on what I know from WCW.
Do you know what TNA is, Doc?
Tits and ass.
No, total nonstop action.
Oh, totally wrong.
Jeff
Fucking
Jarrett
TNA then.
wrestling program.
Okay.
A couple of years after WCW was bought by WWE, Jeff Jarrett and his father created TNA, Total Nonstop Action Wrestling, which is now known as Impact. And yeah, Sting ended up going over there with, Kurt Angle ends up there, Booker T, Kevin Nash, the Dudleys,
Oh, so
a
solid
bunch
roster.
of different
Okay.
people. So, like anybody that you saw disappear from the WWE
That's
roster
where they
just
went.
after the Attitude Era, pretty much ended up down there.
Okay. So I could agree
Big
with
Papa
Goat
Pump,
because he
Scott
was
Steiner.
like Sting, like just the face paint alone, his like his persona alone was phenomenal. And he always walked around with that fucking bat.
Random fun fact: Sting originally broke into wrestling as Jim Hellwig, the Ultimate Warrior's tag team partner, known as the
Oh
Blade Runner.
shit! Did not
That's
know
why
that.
they have the face paint. Yep.
That's phenomenal. And the fact that he's got a strong face. Look at the face, like the facial features. It just fits the character.
I'd say.
Yeah.
The man behind the face paint there, Steve Borden. The face paint you know him for, the black and white, actually happened because of a conversation with Scott Hall. Sting was getting himself ready, and this was still when he was doing the like bright fluorescent color surfer Sting guy. And Scott Hall, Kevin Nash, and Hogan are there at this point, and they're just starting the NWO. And Scott keeps just staring at Sting as he's doing his face paint. And Sting's finally kind of like, okay, what the fuck is, man? And Scott lays out this whole like, hey man, you ever seen The Crow? Like the movie?
That's what I thought when I seen him.
And he's like, can you imagine? Like, he lays out this whole thing, and Sting's like, well, but I wouldn't want to be a heel. He's like, you're not a heel. Like, you're still the good guy.
You're the protector kind of thing.
It's just exactly. He's like, you're the silent defender kind of guy. And like, so in a lot of ways, that
wrestling Batman
actually comes from this. Yeah, in a lot of ways, this whole thing comes from this random conversation where Scott Hall was just like, all I had to do was put on my knee pads, my elbow pads, boots, and sitting here watching this dude go through the face paint and everything else, and it's just like, hey, you ever thought about this for a character? Like, you ever got tired of the fluorescent colors?
And I like that at the end of the match, it's like half his face paint is sweated off.
Yeah.
Really added to that.
Oh yeah, dude.
Where it's like he had to end the match before his identity was revealed.
Well, I mean, you knew how hardcore the battle was based
sure.
on how little face paint he had at the end.
Yep.
So Sting is amazing.
Yeah.
This is actually a really solid list of people.
All right, next one up, Mr. 619 himself, Rey Mysterio.
Excellent. I actually know Goat because I think he was one of the first luchadors that I actually enjoyed watching.
Excellent for me.
I'd say I would agree with excellent. Because personally, like I say Goat, but that's because he's the first like featherweight, lightweight kind of wrestler that I enjoyed watching.
He's just definitely the person that people just love.
Oh, dude, he's charismatic as fuck. I think the only downfall is his size, but you can't control that, you know.
And he fucking worked it
So-
to his advantage too.
Yeah, he was a high flyer, which is entertaining as fuck to watch.
So first off, I prefer Juventud Guerrera. Hoovy Juice is awesome.
Did you just say booby juice?
And Hoovy Juice?
Oh, they said
Juventud
booby juice. I was
Guerrera.
like, who the fuck names their
No.
wrestler that?
No, Hoovy. Him and Jericho have had some amazing matches. There's a lot of people. He was WCW for a while. He's another luchador from that same era. But I think that's where it comes down to for me. I have seen plenty of others, and right now in the game, I respect Ray. Ray's a legend.
Yeah.
But right now, Ray Phoenix, wrestling for AEW and a few other things because of how that whole group works, and Penta Jr. Are freaking phenomenal. They wrestle a style that's somewhere different parts of Ray's career type thing, but they're just as entertaining and stuff. It's just they don't have the exposure Ray did. And I actually think that held Ray back. The WWE has made him a bigger star than he'll probably ever would have been. However, from a match standpoint and what Ray's actually capable of, they have never let him off the chain. As a result, I don't think you've ever actually truly seen one of the better matches that Rey Mysterio can have. And that's part of what makes him excellent for me, not GOAT. Also,
Okay, that's fair.
he speaks well, but Ray is not a great promo. There is nothing threatening about Ray.
Yeah,
It
he's
always
just a nice
has to be
guy.
from a sympathetic standpoint. And I don't know that you can do a true heel turn with Rey Mysterio.
I think he's stuck
Without
as
really
babyface.
changing the hell out of that character. So he lacks some versatility for me. And because he's only good chasing, not being chased, I can't make him a GOAT.
I respect it. Good take.
Next up, Umaga.
Mid.
Rest in peace.
I say mid.
Same thing for a couple other guys on here, but gone too soon. Mid.
Yeah, mid, unfortunately.
I don't think we ever got to see what he could truly be. You guys remember 5 Minute Warning at all?
No.
Eric Bischoff is commissioner of Raw, and if the match is terrible, he'd have these guys come out and beat people the hell up. Never noticed 5 Minute Warning.
Eric Bischoff in charge was terrible. Personal opinion, of course.
Gotcha. Okay, well, he originally was Rosie from 5 Minute Warning, so.
All right, moving on to a heavy hitter here. Stone Cold.
GOAT. Without question.
Hang on, my Discord stopped responding. I gotta log back on.
Okay. That's actually his penis hitting the mic. It sounds so hollow, like he doesn't have any joy left in his life.
Oh man,
You making this a video, Thump?
this went on a little longer than I expected, but yeah.
Oh, dude, it's because we got conversation. You can cut.
There's plenty
You're
to
gonna have
talk
some
about.
editing to do, my boy.
I know more than you think you know.
Dude,
And that's
this
kind
is
of why I
good
wanted
shit.
to do it.
Yeah.
Which I'll probably just leave this up.
Like you could ask me a personal or question about each one of these guys from like a personal standpoint, and I can give you something.
Yeah.
All right, you back with it, Sean?
Yep, we're good.
All right. Now for a heavy hitter, Stone Cold.
Go. Question.
So
GOAT.
I watched him in person become Austin 316. Okay. Fucking GOAT.
Like you were at the match?
I was at the pay-per-view, yes. It was fucking the only pay-per-view I ever got to go to as a kid, and that was fucking awesome. The best
Was that
time I've
King
ever
of the
had in my
Ring?
life.
All right. Then let's
look, I mean, let's be honest. If you wanted to boost your crowd attendance, get more ratings on television for 15 minutes, and also find a way to make sure nobody got hurt, do you know what you do?
Chug
You
beer.
send Stone Cold Steve Austin down to the ring on a four-wheeler, have him get in the ring, go all four corners, catch 4 beers, drink said 4 beers, go all 4 corners, and exit the arena again. He says nothing. He just showed up, drank 4 beers,
Yes.
flipped the crowd off a bunch of times and left, killed 15 minutes. You know what? Everybody stayed tuned during that 15 minutes. Not a single fan got up to get popcorn during that 15 minutes, and he didn't do a fucking thing.
And the best part is, like, he is genuinely a fucking nice guy.
Stone Cold Steve Austin in real life is just that guy, less asshole.
Yes, he's a fucking nice guy. Like,
He
I
is
know a lot of
himself.
people will be like, "Oh, he's an asshole." Like, just because he's saying it like it is doesn't make him an asshole. It just makes you soft, I guess. I don't know how to explain that, but like,
Oh, he'll even tell you he's just a straightforward, brutally honest guy, and it rubs some folks the wrong way, and that's just too damn bad. Like, it's not going to bother him, and that's fine.
and
but
the
this
synonymous,
guy is
the
amazing.
glass breaks, and you know exactly who the fuck is coming.
Mm-hmm. And with that, we'll go with exactly who you know is coming out. Can you smell The Rock?
Excellent.
This is a goat.
You think?
This is
Okay.
a goat.
I also have to agree with goat.
So here's my thing. This is another guy where, hey, we need to kill 15 minutes, not hurt anybody, and
He
we
is a
don't really
promo
have
guy.
a storyline or anything
That's fair.
going on. And The Rock walks out to the ring, and he makes fun of the audience for 15 minutes. You know, like, first off, he kills 5 just walking to the ring.
Yeah.
He talks for 5 minutes, and then kills the other 5 leaving the ring. You know what I mean? Like,
he
this is
cuts
another
good
dude
ass
that you
promos.
can just, and it's another dude that you can just send out there. He'll draw a bigger audience and a pop. We're not even talking about getting in the ring yet. And quite honestly, while you like to cheer Austin because of how he is, The Rock is the exact opposite.
True.
I
love-
enjoy watching this man get his ass kicked.
Yeah. I love
see
The
him
Rock.
as a champion
So
that
let's
has that.
be fair. I love The Rock, but I only say excellent because it's like, how many goats are there truly? You know what I mean? And that's my thought process on it. Like, he is a goat for what he's done, 110%, because he's paved the way for other wrestlers that are not white. Does that make sense? Of a other skin color, other nationality. Like, he was gonna play football, and like his family, just the family lineage he has is fucking everybody's wrestled.
Right. Grandson of the great High Chief Peter Maivia.
Fuck yeah.
I don't disagree with that statement, but quite honestly, this is a highly loaded group of people.
Oh, fuck yeah.
Like, dude, if I was running a wrestling company and you told me this was my roster to work with, like, move the fuck over.
I wouldn't check Mr. 420 for weed, though. You know what I'm saying? He'd be aight.
Well, I mean, I know where I would have him, and I think he would understand and be appreciative.
He'd be in the smoke shop.
He'd be basically my highest paid jobber. He'd be a great mid-belt guy.
Dude, he could have like T8 marijuana themed trunks and everything. Just fucking lean into it.
Him and Jeff Hardy tag teamed together in Impact Wrestling for a while as Team Rehab.
Fucking see? That's what I'm saying.
Like,
all right, let's do Batista.
Excellent.
Mr. Machine Gun himself.
I think his career was a little too short, in my opinion.
This is mid for me.
Mid? Okay.
Why is he mid for you?
I have my reasons.
All right, let's hear him. Honestly, Swish got a solid take on all this because he watches the fuck out of some wrestling.
So, first off, I'm going to give you the pettiest reason I have.
Hey man, I am fucking petty, okay? Petty Doc don't play, so I'm down. You think he's mad? Fuck this guy.
For years, Batista has used the exact same entrance. Yeah, and he does the machine gun thing, and the pyro goes off, right? I can't tell you how many times I've seen Batista yell hot or mistime that, be completely off. He's been too close, too far away, forgot he had the pyro, gone way too early for the pyro. Like, dude, you had the same entrance for like 8 years. Get it right sometime.
All right,
For
so
the love
he
of
is
God.
Mr. Mid. Good to know.
So, like, please just get it right. Number 2, Batista actually didn't get into the wrestling business until he was almost 40.
True. True.
Batista is like 60 something now, I think.
I mean, he's still
Like,
fucking jacked.
He's
but,
older than you think.
yeah.
Oh, for sure. He's also known for breaking up a few marriages.
Hell yeah.
Fuck yeah, mid-ass marriages with mid-ass fucking Batista.
In the locker room for a while, he was known as Big Dick Dave.
Hey! That's a great name, bro! His ass up to excellent because he got a huge schlong, okay?
While I think he's a great multi-tool player, he also just
You
feels
said
flat
tool.
to me a lot of time. Batista is a great mid-card guy for me.
Yeah.
All right, let's do Chris Jericho.
Excellent.
Yep.
I guess I could have been in the category of me not knowing exactly. I only seen him when he came back in like the mid 2000s, and everyone freaked out about him.
Really good entertainer. Very good entertainer.
All right, now
So what you saw in the mid 2000s, he's been doing since late 80s.
Yeah, he's
to now. He's still doing it. Still at that level.
Yep. Phenomenal.
all right. Speaking of, go on.
It's just Jericho is the unstoppable force, the irresistible force. That dude makes everything he does a little better. He has the ability to elevate other people more than anything. It's what keeps him from GOAT tier. I don't so much want Jericho in a spot where he is the guy. I want Jericho in a spot where he's helping make the next guy. Because that's what he does best.
He brings out the best in the other competitors.
Yes. And forces them to take a step up. And I would hope if Jericho heard this himself that he would appreciate and respect that. But if I had Jericho on a roster, I really want him being the guy that springboards who's going after my champion.
Moving on to one of the biggest entertainers that I can see on this list, The Miz.
Miz is mid.
I struggle. He's excellent. No,
I would say bad to mid, and it's not even wrestling. That's the problem.
It's funny.
So explain that for me, Dr. Bear.
Didn't he get his start from like reality TV?
Correct. And he said that all the way through.
No. I get that, but like, I don't think he's that good of an entertainer. He's very gimmicky, and it's hard to plan around such a strict gimmick.
So let me ask you a question. When you've seen him, how do you feel?
Meh.
You just don't care?
It's like you want him to get his
outside of wrestling, he's entertaining. Like I've watched his TikToks with him and his wife and shit. You know, that's cool, whatever. But like in the ring, I'm like, yeah, I don't really care.
So here's the thing for me, and this is why he's excellent. All of those things that you said about him are true, and I couldn't agree more.
Yeah.
And it's why I hate him. But that's also the thing. I hate him. I would pay money. I would pay money to see this man get his ass pummeled every fucking night of the week.
So he does
every fucking night of the week. Do you know what's even better? He knows I would, and will look you square in the eye and go, "You're damn straight you'll pay money to see me get my ass kicked, but you know what? You're gonna keep paying because it won't happen." Like, god damn it, that dude is.
That's fair. We could bump
he is on the money for what you want. This guy brings people to an arena just to see him get his ass kicked. He knows it, you know it, and he's cool with it. Not only that, he wants to know how to make you hate him more.
Okay, that's fair.
Like, I love this. I
like him as a person because I watch his reality TV show because I'm a weirdo.
And that's the other thing. I've seen who he is outside of the gimmick. And oh my God, he openly admits to not knowing what he was doing and being a complete douche for a while. And he's like, dude, I got yelled at. I was kicked out of the locker room for a while. I was changing the damn bathrooms. Like, he's
He
like,
got
I
shit on.
fucked shit up and they let me know. He's like, they treated me like the reality TV guy. So, I mean, I got to give him respect. He's paid his dues. And you know what? I still hate him. I would still pay to see him get his ass kicked. God damn it. He got me.
Right?
He's a good heel.
All right,
Fair.
Doctor, you want to piss Swiss off real quick?
I'm down. Depends on what it is.
All right, we're ranking Triple H and Shawn Michaels as DX only.
Goat.
Oh, okay. So, yeah, go.
Still go.
I love DX. Yeah,
That
dude,
made
DX.
their argument stronger, not weaker.
Yeah, you dumbass. What are you
Well,
talking
no.
about?
Okay, so would you?
Hey, man.
I would rate them
got
goat whether
two
they
Hall
were in
of
DX
Famers.
or not. Shawn Michaels had some of the most iconic matches I can remember, and Triple H is fucking phenomenal
Okay,
wrestler.
so-
He's even a better promoter. Like,
Separately, these
Good
guys
God.
would be goat as well, both of them.
yes,
Okay.
yes.
Oh yeah.
That's
As a
two of the
tag
best
team, though-
wrestlers that I can like. That whole goat list, like that, is the fucking. There's no mid card there at all.
Dude.
It's like literally all
Yeah.
main card fighters.
Top performers.
Yeah.
There's so many Hall of Famers and potential Hall of Famers on here. It's not even funny. But like this pairing though, like it's DX only. Okay. All you told me was that I can base my show around a tag team. The one holds the world heavyweight title, the other holds the intercontinental title on my show, and they're also my tag champ. It is two people versus my entire roster for 2 to 3 hours. This sounds fucking phenomenal. And on the undercard, I have my entire roster scrambling to prove they're good enough to even get in the ring with these two. You have such a competitive moment and situation going on. These two are only going to make everybody around them better. And they're so seasoned and chill that they will not have a problem with it and see it as fun the whole way. They are going to enjoy all of that pressure because they aren't going to feel it. That would be a ridiculous thing.
Okay. Well, I'm sorry, I fucked that up. Anyway,
I was say like, hey, what's even better than one legend that's in the Hall of Fame multiple times? Oh, I know. Let's give him his buddy.
moving on to AJ Styles.
Don't know.
Excellent. He is
Okay,
phenomenal.
I'll agree with Swiss. Like, I don't care.
watch him.
I just don't know who the hell they are.
Yeah.
So soft-spoken Southern accent,
Yeehaw, baby.
Roll Tide.
but he is.
Yeah, you fuck nerd.
I hate you guys.
Oh, we should rank college football teams and make Alabama the only S tier and yell Roll Tide.
I hate him.
Yeah. Punish Swiss.
AJ Styles is the HBK nature. Like he is the best in ring performer, right?
Okay.
I'll
I'll have to check it out.
and
'cause
he's
I like
been
HBK
doing it
a
for
lot.
years.
Mhm.
He's been doing it for years and nobody's seen it. Yeah, he's
Okay.
that next evolution. Mix of a high flyer and a catch can wrestler. His finisher is great on top of that. God, Styles Clash is awesome. I can't say enough. He's a great chaser though. He is not king of the mountain necessarily.
So he's like another Rey
Anthony,
Mysterio?
but yep. He's a bit smaller in stature and stuff again. Not that he's not skilled enough to do it. He is a technician through and through. It's just he's a better chase than he is on top of the mountain.
Right on.
Moving on to Kane.
Excellent.
Yeah.
The fact that he took that gimmick and made it what it is phenomenal. Because he was in the Undertaker's shadow for, seemingly forever.
And now he's governor.
Yeah, I think that's cool as
Um,
shit. Like he's taken his platform and he's trying to do better for his community too. So that's good shit.
Again, he's a guy I don't think of as a champion for me, but I know like IC title, US title, like dude, I could hand him that. He could live there all day.
Yeah.
He's great with storylines, and there's been a diverse group of what you could do.
He's an upper card kind
Like,
of guy,
he's
but not
a solid
main
character.
event necessarily.
It doesn't need to be.
Yeah.
It's what
Some
he
of the best
is.
matches were the Inferno match and shit. He fought the Undertaker, like that shit was cool.
Oh,
You
dude,
know?
him and Cena.
Yeah.
Him and Cena in the 2010s had a like a Falls Count Anywhere hardcore match, and he gets tossed off an actual freaking ambulance. Like he throws Cena off the top into the hood. Like it was one of the most brutal things I've ever seen. And I was just dumbfounded because, like, man, I wasn't expecting this from late era Kane. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah. Bringing it back to the roots, baby.
it was hardcore, Cena, and like, man, props to Cena for being like, hey, bro, just beat the hell out of me tonight. Kane was like, okay.
All right. Celtic Warrior, Sheamus.
Don't know much
Mid.
about him. Mid is probably where I would rate him.
Mid.
All right, moving on quickly. Edge.
And I say mid because he's a fucking ginger, okay?
Wow.
Edge is a goat.
Edge
is a goat.
Edge is, yes.
You can build a whole thing around Edge. He's awesome. He helps elevate others.
He broke his
I'd
back
say
and he
there's-
came back like a motherfucker.
I'd say there's like 3 or 4 people
Twice.
still on this list that could be goat, bro.
Twice.
Yeah.
Hulk Hogan, Hulkamania.
Now that's tough. I would say excellent to goat. You should say creepy dad as a tier and throw
Creepy
him
dad.
there because he does some weird shit. But people see that as weird shit. It might be normal for him. You know what I mean? As a wrestler, he was good. He was not super high flying. He was what he was. He was a good wrestler. And he was good at promos. What you gonna do, brother? When the 38-inch pythons, like that's fucking awesome. Like people are like 38 inches, that's big as shit. It's not that big. It's just wrap it around your arm. It's 38 inches.
All right. Let's do Goldberg.
I just don't like Hogan.
Goldberg is
mid for me.
Mid to excellent. If you go just based on the WCW, where it's like who's next, that's excellent. But the rest of it makes it down to mid because he didn't really do much after that.
That's my whole problem, though. Like, where do you go after that?
Yeah, I think they fucked
that's
up and
part of why he
threw the whole
struggled in
bag
other
at the thing, and it worked, and then he kind of like petered off,
Bill also does some not smart things. Like in WWE, he was supposed to like break a window on this limo, and like they gave him a thing to break the window with, and after it didn't work a couple times, he decided to just punch it.
Didn't he slice himself open?
Yeah, does this repeatedly until he does break it, and then ends up being out because he sliced the shit out of some tendons and stuff. Bill once ended up wrestling an entire match semi-concussed because he decided to headbutt the door like he does every time before he comes out. Like,
dumbass.
What the fuck? Like, he doesn't like. I love the intensity; it's great for the character, but like, you also endanger yourself in this. And I don't know what to do with you after you've had one big run.
Daniel Bryan.
Excellent.
Yeah, excellent's fair.
That guy is god tier intelligence, wrestling wise, and ability. He is a Bret Hart.
All right, and then let's do the Pepsi spokesman himself, CM Punk.
Mid.
Mid to excellent, yeah.
Mid.
Why mid?
He makes huge splashes, but then burns the bridge.
Yeah.
He's volatile. And as an overall, that causes an issue. I'm excited for the first month and a half he's there. Afterwards, I'm no longer interested, and it just becomes a very loud situation.
Yeah. All right, how about John Cena?
I do love his wrestling, though.
Cena's excellent.
He's a goat.
Goat? Okay, that's fair.
Dude's a goat. He's a goat. You can. He's. It's the same thing. Hey man, we need to kill 15 minutes so and so wasn't able to make it. What do? You send John Cena to the ring with a mic.
Oh, you sent John
John
Cena to the
runs.
ring.
Yes, you send John Cena. And John Cena, he gets into the ring. He takes off his shirt. He throws it to somebody in the audience. He does the same thing with the hat. You
And
know,
dude, didn't he make a rap album too?
Yeah.
Which was like
Yeah.
terrible.
Oh yeah.
Was it
yeah.
terrible or was it good?
Actually, it's okay for what it is. You gotta
Okay.
brush your mouth with Colgate. There. Snoop Dogg liked it. What can I say?
Hey, bro, if Snoop likes it, I like it. Okay, good shit for Chenna.
Snoop liked it. So, with John Cena. You know, you send him down to the ring. He does this thing. He hypes up the crowd, tells them how awesome they are, and that he's gonna whoop this dude's butt, you know, on this day and whatever. And again, nobody got up, nobody left, nobody, you know, just having his name on the marquee made people show up and buy more tickets and tune in. And while I like rooting against Cena, no matter what he is, I can't deny that the man is a draw. He puts butts in seats.
Yeah.
Truth. That's good shit.
Eddie Guerrero.
Goat.
Excellent.
Why
Eddie
excellent?
didn't like the pressure of being champion. Eddie lost the championship because Eddie asked to drop the belt.
That's fair.
Eddie doesn't want to be champion. Eddie doesn't like the pressure. He's great for a locker room if you have later like Eddie. He's an amazing wrestler. Yep. He's an amazing wrestler.
If you
But Eddie doesn't
bring
wanna
back the whole dark side of the ring, Eddie Guerrero's death is what started putting Benoit over the edge. Because they were like close
Yeah,
like brothers. So
a couple
it's
of deaths like that.
Yeah, it's brutal, man.
Okay, let's do Hardy.
420.
420, dude.
Yeah.
Let me tell you a story about a man named Jeff. Couldn't keep his head straight and fucked up a lot of shit. Jeff's gone to the ring multiple times for other. It's happened once in Impact Wrestling. What was TNA? It's happened in AEW where Jeff showed up under the influence clearly and went out to the ring that way. Jeff's biggest demons have been those away from the ring, and unfortunately, they've stopped a lot of the momentum that he built parts of his career. Jeff's story is a tale of what could be.
Yeah, because if it wasn't for that, I'd say he's GOAT just for all the fucking matches he did. The good ass matches.
I love Jeff Hardy. I'm right there with you. I love Jeff Hardy. He's great all the way around. He's a multi-tool player, but we'll never know what Jeff Hardy could have been.
Yeah.
Let's go RKO. Randy Orton.
That dude is a goat.
Goat? Okay, that's fair.
I agree. I like Randy Orton.
That dude's a goat. Randy Orton has been a legend his entire life. He's been telling you that. You just haven't wanted to listen. And I think he's been right. You know what I mean? I've seen Randy work with anybody and everybody. The RKO out of nowhere is one of the greatest things you've ever been given in life.
Oh, yeah.
How many people have done something similar to an RKO for years? And yet, this is the guy that, you know, like, is it a this? Is it a that? It's an RKO! Like, he is just as meme worthy as Cena is. And the Ford F-150. Gotta give Randall his due.
All right, the Beast himself.
Excellent.
Brock Lesnar is excellent.
Yes.
Doctor.
I say mid.
You say mid.
You don't have Brock. You don't have Paul Heyman with him. Brock Lesnar is excellent.
That's fair.
Fair enough. All right, so scale 1 to 10. How great is this? How great is this tier list?
This is a good fucking tier list, man.
Khali is literally the only guy on that list that sucks. I can't
And
say
even then, I
anything
could argue that he's not truly bad, that he's just mid. But again,
the man moves in slow mo.
yes, that just physiologically it doesn't lead him to be to mid. He's just a big fucking guy in a group moving at his speed with a bunch of smaller dudes moving at hyper speed. It's just like let me
Dude,
fucking
they
let
put
him
him
run
in
around.
there
I'll
with
catch him
Kane
when I
and
catch
Big
him.
Show, and they put him in there with Kane and Big Show, and he still looks slow.
Yeah, no, he really. It's like he's moving in fucking molasses, dude. He's really just slogging through life.
That sand, anyway.
Yeah.
All right, Swissy Bear, give us a good ass outro.
So this was a pretty stacked jack list here. This was a hard one to determine between the goats here. We'll probably do another one of these types of things some other time. That's got a little bit more diversity. Overall, though, there's a lot of people in that goat tier, and again, most of this is based off that idea of like, who could I have be the centerpiece of my show? And there's a lot of centerpieces up there. I think any wrestling promoter would be happy to have this roster. And if you've been happy to join us on this adventure here at SXZBear, please hit that like button. Maybe sniff the subscribe. And go snoop first on that notification bell if you want to know when we do other stuff. Thanks for watching. For Thumpy,
Goodbye.
Jock, and myself. Be safe.
Thank you for watching. Paw that like button. Go snoop first on the subscribe. For more bear content, sniff the notification bell. It'll let you know when we have new videos and when we go live on YouTube. For even more bear entertainment, check the description for more.